Hey guys, testing. Hopefully you can hear me. It looks like we're live. So, I don't know. I think Facebook switched up the way that it streams and it's set up, so it's just not really working for me right now. So I've been having to do everything over I guess my phone now. So, whatever. We're going to make the best out of this, and hopefully next week Facebook will have fixed the service, because I can't even connect my camera. Now let's hop into what is the thing that we're all here for. So how my mentorship student was able to go and get to $8,000 per month inside of her business within about 61 days while still working her full-time job. And this is actually while having a family too. So sorry, I have this piece of dust on me. So I hear a lot of people when they're starting out, they're like, I'm working a full-time job. Is this really for me? Can I really make money doing this? Because a lot of people, not everybody, but some people want to quit their job because, maybe they don't like it, or they're just not treating them the way that, they are supposed to be treated or deserve to be treated. So they're looking for a way out. So this is really how to do it in a couple of easy steps. Because I know when I started my accounting firm back in 2014, I thought it was either or. I thought you either worked in your job or you started a business. So I quit my job cold turkey in order to start my business. And nowadays I always encourage people to try running both at the same time. Yes, I know you're busy. Yes, I know that you're trying to do certain things, but at the same time it's which one do you want more? Do you want to sacrifice a couple of months while growing your business and working full time, or do you want to sacrifice living the life you want because you didn't really want to spend the time kind of doing it right now? So, just make the trade-off. Now, back to what we're talking about. Okay, so how was she able to do it? So there's really only going to be about 3 steps that she did in order to do it. Number 1, you gotta start thinking bigger. So I remember when we first started talking, she was like, I have to go and replace a certain amount of income in order to leave my job. But, whenever I try and talk to a client, they always seem to balk whenever I talk about, spending $300 a month is what she was trying to charge beforehand. And she would just have such trouble getting people to pay that. Because it always seemed the people either wanted to nickel and dime her, or she was just running to these really micro startup businesses where they were just trying to get started, and they didn't really have, one, a lot of volume, because she does bookkeeping, so they didn't really have a lot of volume to actually pay her on, and 2, they didn't have any cash. So it was really hard for her to start going. So when we started talking, we were like, okay, cool. So your pricing needs to be in a way that's going to be attractive to a bigger company or a bigger client. And along with your pricing, your services need to be related to the size of the client that you're going to be speaking to. For example, if on your website, and you guys know how I feel about websites where you don't really need a website to get to $10,000 a month in your business. But let's say you have a website, for example, and on your website you have services like business formation, helping you start your LLC. And then, it's no wonder why you're getting all these small business owners coming to you, because that's what the services you're promoting are talking to. They're talking to a small business versus a bigger company. Let's say for a bigger company, they need cash flow management. Let's say they need trends. They need to learn about accruals. They need to learn about budgeting, because they have so much money, they don't really know what to do with it. And those are the services you need to start thinking about. What are the services that a bigger company is going to be? And when I say a bigger company, I mean a company that's doing 6, 7, and 8 figures per year. I don't mean a behemoth billion-dollar company, although those are really great companies if that's kind of what you're shooting for. It's just the average person who's maybe looking just to kind of replace their income and start this business and really make 6 figures. That's kind of what they're shooting for in a lot of cases. But you guys need to start thinking bigger. Your price range when you're starting out should be anywhere between $500 to $5,000 per month. That's, if you're a beginner, you've never charged those kind of prices, that's really what we're shooting for. Anywhere between $500 to $5,000 per month. And as you start getting more and more experience, you can actually start, selling way more. For example, John, he signed a contract yesterday for, they're paying about $250 per hour for about 35 hours worth of consulting per week. That is a $36,000 per month contract. And that company is a billion-dollar brand, right? But then the week before, they had another contract that was $35,000 per month. They added about $70,000 per month to their monthly recurring revenue just by really going and thinking bigger, right? Because when we first got started, he was like, for bookkeeping, I don't want to be a bookkeeper as much as I want to try and do some more virtual CFO services. But for virtual CFO, they're going to only want to do bookkeeping. They're not going to want to hire me for more than $1,000 a month. I just don't know what to do. Right? So the first thing we did was we just sat back, we just started thinking bigger. I'm like, dude, Why can't they pay you more money for the services you're offering? Put in perspective. You see, if they're going to pay someone else, why not pay you? Do they have enough money to pay you $1,000 a month? Yes. Do they have enough money to pay you $2,000 a month? Yes. Do they have other contractors inside of their business that they're paying more than that? Yes. Do you think they value your service? Yes. And we just keep thinking and thinking and thinking like that. And then his pricing started getting bigger and 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 bigger. And the cool thing about that was, like, he was thinking about going in at like $200 an hour for this contract we're talking about. I was like, dude, just raise it by $50 an hour. He's like, well, there's no way I can do that, because he was talking to this firm or to this business, and you know they do $1 billion top line, but they had this they had an IT firm that was coming in as well, and the IT firm was charging them about $200 per hour. And the cool thing about that is, so they were, you know, charging $200 per hour for 40 hours a week, but the IT firm had 8 contractors present at all times. So they're doing 8 times 40 hours a week. I'm like, dude, you can charge more than that because it's only you doing it. It's not like you have 8 other contractors that are going to be sucking up millions of hours. She's like, oh, interesting. I'm sorry, like, we're way off topic. That's a $36,000 a month contract. We're talking about $8,000 a month contract. Let me get off of that. The whole point of that is just to say, you guys can charge a lot more money. It's just, one, your price and your services are not set up correctly to actually be able to command that kind of value. Number 2, and let me even stop even before we go further. If you understand that, go ahead and put a 1 inside of the chat. If you understand the importance of, 1, getting your pricing right, making sure your services are in accordance with the services that you are selling and what you are trying to go for. If there are any questions about that, put that inside the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer it real quick. But unless there are, I'm going to actually move on to number 2, which is going to be how to actually go and find the clients. Now, a lot of people don't really understand, like, and this is partially my fault. This is partially a lot of people inside of the industry who do like coaching and like consulting, right? Because, you know, I can really see how it looks to the average person. The average person probably thinks that. So Bryce shows these guys how to get bigger quality clients. And, you know, they're getting clients for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. And the average person thinks, well, that just means that I'm not sitting in front of the right people. So I have to keep searching and searching and searching and searching and searching and trying a million different things before I start finding the right people who are going to pay me what I am worth. And on the one hand, that is, but you'd be surprised how many people you actually speak to right now who have the budget or capacity to pay you more money. But since, 1, they don't really value what you're doing. 2, you're not amazing at selling and talking about the value of what you have. Number 3, bring them on camera. Ashanti Jones is watching. What does it mean, bring them on camera? Yeah, did you see, Jessica, did you see the video with the $8,000 a month, what is that called? Recap? Send me a message, Jessica, if you want to see the $8,000 a month recap that I'm talking about. Ashanti, welcome Ashanti, welcome Trinisha, welcome, I see Jessica's on, I see Courtney's on. Yeah, man, bring them on. But yeah, next thing. So a lot of people think that's what it is. And like, I understand that my marketing probably makes it seem like you're finding magical clients, but it's really that most people don't understand how to portray the value correctly. For example, I remember one of my students, when she came into the program, she was so frustrated because she was like, these people, I tried to raise the price from $300 to $500 a month. And this is before me and her started working together. And she's like, they just said that they couldn't afford to do it. But she's like, I'm looking at their books every day. She's like, they have $1 million in cash sitting inside of the bank, but they don't want to pay me more than $500 per month. And I'm like, you see, that's kind of the unfortunate thing that most people don't understand. It's not just about finding the right size company. It's about, you have to have all 3 things in alignment, right? Because, you know, if you're talking to someone who has a lot of money, but they just don't respect you, because 1, your pricing's bad, and 2, you're not really good at sales, it's really, really hard for them to actually like pay you that money. And, you know, you're going to walk with a lot less money than what you should be. Now, next thing, okay, is marketing. So let's talk about marketing. Let's assume your pricing and your, you know, services are good. And I forgot to say this before we even got started. If you want some help growing your business. Like you see all these results, you're seeing like, hey Bryce, like you obviously have something that's moving, that's shaking, and you want to be able to go and make money a lot faster. I recommend you go ahead and click on the link inside the description either above or below the video to see if I can help you out. Now, okay, I had to reschedule a meeting just real quick. Sorry, I'm on my phone getting a lot of notifications. But yeah, so if you want some help growing, like don't try and figure this stuff out on your own. It's interesting, right? Because there's actually a person watching who's inside my mentorship program. Her name is Courtney, and Courtney comes to these, and she comes to my private coaching calls, and we do one-on-ones, just everything inside the mentorship program. And like she's absorbing all this information, the same information that you guys, that a lot of people who maybe aren't inside the program are watching the same things, but when she's actually inside the program, she actually got her first client today. It's been 2 weeks since she's been inside of the program. Now, the first week she's like kind of moving, so she kind of took a vacation and wasn't able to go and apply the stuff that we were talking about as fast. Because it's hard when you're moving and you have a family and you're going cross country. However, we hopped on a couple calls in the last couple days. I told her to do a couple different things like, hey, go talk to this kind of client, go move forward, go do this, go do that. She did one post inside of a Facebook group. She got 7 calls booked. She did, I think, 2 calls today. I don't know how the second call went, but the first call, I think she closed it, right? It's just like, you just got to know exactly what it is and for your specific situation. But a lot of people are trying to like figure this stuff on their own. And, for lack of better words, it's actually kind of insulting that, so, I won't even say it's not that it's insulting. It's just kind of weird, right? A lot of the stuff that I teach now, right? It's not like I just came up with this stuff. I spent 35 grand in my first year trying to learn this stuff. Like I spent 18,000 on a sales training mentorship, whereas like one-on-one with this one person would actually sit there with me watching my sales calls and be like, you didn't say this, you didn't say that, you should have said that, try that, do this is how you present your price, and this is how you, like, we crafted this script, and this cost me $20,000, right? And another one, it was $7,000 learning how to actually make content and like posting content to actually get people to want to buy my stuff, right? And that cost me $7,000. Another program I did, it was $7,800, and that was showing how to do a little bit of outreach using LinkedIn and using Facebook groups. I did another one which was about $3,500, which was like how to actually go and speak to people inside of an audience, right? That was all in my first year that I actually got successful. And that's why a lot of people are like, I can just figure this stuff out on my own. It's like, maybe you can, but I mean, like, if you want to hit 6 figures in the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, most people, they just don't really have the skill set to be able to do it, because there's so much like stuff you have to learn and have to kind of untrain. For example, if you think that sales is really, one, you need to be a salesperson in order to get good at sales. 2, you think sales is about pushing people into doing something they don't want to do. 3, you should not be talking to strangers. Those 3 beliefs alone can cripple your entire business. Like, for example, like I used to think that you had to do a lot of talking in order to do sales, right? The first thing that I learned when I was paying for that coaching sales mentorship was you're actually supposed to say a lot less than what you are. Like, quit talking. Like the guy used to routinely tell me, stop talking, Bryce. You're talking too much. Quit doing so much talking on these calls. I was like, what? I thought you had to do a lot of talking, that all salespeople talk really fast and they're like slick and they know exactly what to say. He said, no. Sales is about listening. You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, Bryce. Use the ears more than you use your mouth. And I would never have known that if I didn't actually go and invest in that program. Another one where, like, sales need to be pushy. I've learned that, the more you push, the harder it is to actually get someone to want to give you money, especially when you're talking about, buying a larger package. Like, you're not going to push someone who's doing 8 figures per year to go with you today just because you had some magic lines and, you're going to try and, like, it just doesn't happen. They're not going to pay you $48,000 per year just because you said some magic line and you pushed them into it. So sales is not about pushing. It's about asking better questions to get better clarity. Number 3, like, people, like, they think that it's bad to talk to strangers. And if you have that mentality and you don't know how to get over that mentality, that's going to cripple you. Because think about it. If you knew people who could give you $1 million a year, you'd already be a millionaire. That probably means that the people who are going to start paying you 6 figures, 7 figures, X amount of money, however much money you want to be making, are people you don't know. aka a stranger. But if you're so petrified of speaking to strangers, you don't really know why or how to get past that fear, it's going to cause you to not be able to do it. Okay. Sorry, a message came up. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, and it's just one of those things, guys. So if that's you, if you're tired of like trying to figure this stuff on your own, and you know, I know that a lot of people want to try and do it on their own. If that's you, that's okay. But if you really want to go hit your goal and you don't want to take a million years to do so, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you. I can't help everybody. Both time does not allow me to help everybody, and sometimes it's not a good fit. If you want to go and get 1 million clients at $100 a month, I'm generally not the person to show you to do that. I'm better at getting you higher value clients, showing you to close on those sales calls a lot more effectively, so that you don't need to do as much work or as much clients, but you make way more. For example, like last week, we talk about marketing, right? Marketing with lead generation. So Melissa, she has LinkedIn, right? And that's her main way that she goes and gets both referral partners as well as getting clients. And what we basically did is for her, because she's having some trouble right now and doing a lot of surgeries, she doesn't have a lot of energy to be able to go and just do marketing day in and day out, right? So what we did for her was two things. One, I showed her how to automate LinkedIn so it automatically goes out and finds the right people. But then secondly, she actually asked for one of my virtual assistants to be able to actually go and manage her LinkedIn accounts for her. And it's actually kind of funny, right? Because like my VAs are so trained, they can actually go in and book calls for you. So last month, actually no, in the last 2 weeks, she booked 5 calls total. She closed 3 out of those 5. That's a 60% close rate. And she doesn't sell small packages. She sells anywhere between $700 to about $4,000 per month packages. What could you do if you can close 60% of the people you speak to on a package at $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month? That's really the key of having good marketing, good systems, good process, good people in place, and then really knowing how to do sales in a way that allows you to be able to raise that price. And you know, it's really kind of interesting, guys. Marketing gets really easy when you have a good process in place, and then you just have to get good at sales. So that's the first half of marketing, okay? Second half of marketing is you need to start learning how to build partnerships. So the lady who did $8,000 in 61 days. So the way that she actually did that was, number one, she used LinkedIn to get 2 clients. So she got 6 clients in total, right? And then she used about 4 clients came from 1 referral partner. So we have a way that we go about getting referral partnerships with really seeing if they're interested, if they're the right size partner, and if they actually have work to give us or send us or refer us. Now, with that one, when she actually reached out to the person who owned the firm said, nah, I don't want to talk to you. The person's assistant reached back out to her and said, hey, what do you want? And she's like, I just want someone to refer me some clients. I'm new. I'm trying to get into this thing, and you know, I want to go prove myself in the industry. She goes, wait, what? What did he tell you? She said, yeah, he just said go away. And she said, why do you do that? We had so many people coming to us, like we turned so many people away. So she goes, I'll just like start sending them to you. So the lady literally sent her 4 clients in the span of like, I think it was like 20 days. And out of those 4 people, I think 4 of them signed up. So she had 4 clients total. I don't know if she got 6 calls or 5 calls. I didn't ask that. All I know is one person sent her 4 clients, and she does about $8,000 a month, with her highest paying client paying her about $5,000 per month. All that to say is, guys, you don't need a lot of clients in order to do this. And the cool thing was, like when I was talking to her, I was like, wait, are you still working your full-time job? She goes, yeah. I put in my 2 weeks on resignation about a week ago. But yeah, so I've been doing that, and I'm still able, you know, to have $8,000 a month. I'm like, wow. And that's the cool thing about when you get good at sales, marketing, setting up expectations, having your services right, it doesn't take you a lot of time. So it's just crazy, guys. She's going to be killing it. She's probably going to be at $14,000 a month by the end of the next 2 months. Because once she like leaves her job fully, she's going to get back 40 hours a week that she could be spending on her business, in addition to already being able to make $8,000 per month. So that's really like just kind of like the skill set we're trying to, you know, give to you guys. And, you know, I really hope that for you, and I can't wait to see your progress. Now, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. I think some person said to put the recap inside of the comments. Jessica said, bring them on camera. So I'll put it inside the comments, the actual video of me doing the coaching call with her, and you guys can kind of see, like, you know, what happened, what was her story, and just kind of follow along there. Now, in the meantime, if you want some help growing your business, you're tired of trying to figure it out on your own, you know that like maybe you could do it, but why take six months, 3 years to try and really figure it out? Just pay the money, join the program, get the stuff step by step, move forward, win in life. It's as simple as that. You want to be a person that figures it out, or do you want to be a person that wins and has to give credit? Just someone told me how to do it. I didn't figure it out myself. I had to pay someone to tell me how to do it. There's so much shame in that, Who are you going to be? Awesome, guys. Well, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next time.